Black Power, Black Beauty, Black by popular demand. This is Black's History Month, a 28-day celebration of Black exploitation films. I'm glad I was able to fit a little parody in this year, and man, this one might be the craziest of them all. I don't know how to even begin to describe Pootie Tang. The character himself is a parody and combination of a bunch of different blaxploitation characters, but at the same time unique. He's hard to describe. He dresses the part and plays the role of a black 70s superhero, but at the same time, and this is purposeful, you can't understand a damn thing he says.
See my Damien, Pootie Tang don't water tide to the shame account, cause that's the came leap of shy, dig?
But all the people in the movie understand it, and in a weird way, I kind of understand it too, even though I don't. To me, that's the magic, and I can see the attraction to the character after all these years. I was kind of sad to learn that the dialogue wasn't ad-libbed and was meticulously written out by the film's writer and director, Louis C.K. Yep, that Louis C.K. Pootie Tang, played by Lance Cruther, who's always going to be the where's my money guy from CB4 to me, got its start on the sketch comedy show The Chris Rock Show, and CK decided to turn it into a full movie that was supposed to be his own vision. But you already know how this works by now. The studio got a hold of it and completely changed what Louis CK expected it to be. And he's going on record saying that the movie that was released is not the movie he wrote or directed. Damn, I feel like this movie needs a director's cut now. I want to know what he had in mind that was different than what we got. I say different than and not better because the Pootie Tang that was released is pretty damn funny. If you watch the trailer for the movie, which I do not recommend, it makes it look way worse than what it really is. And granted, it is dumb as hell by design, but it's one of those movies where you have to watch it with the proper context for the jokes to land. Pootie Tang is a tough, no-nonsense, womanizing entertainer and activist who isn't afraid to use his belt, which I assume is magical, to fight evil with. What makes Pootie Tang enjoyable are the characters. Good characters can bring a movie to life, no matter how badly it's written. And when you got dudes on screen like Dirty D, whose whole persona is that he's a pimp that's literally dirty as hell, even his car and his women, how can you not laugh? Especially when he's defeated by going through a car wash that makes him clean, and then later complains that the worst thing about jail is that they made him wash. Another of my favorite characters is one of the guys that hangs around Pootie and his entourage, that includes JB Smoove and Chris Rock. Throughout the movie, Chris Rock goes into detail describing something, only for the guy to sum it up and repeat it every time.
You got that right. He is a kick-ass artiste.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He like the Da Vinci of ass kicking.
Oh man, Pootie Tang whip your ass so bad that you can write it off on your taxes.
You know, I like to also add that Pootie Tang can kick some ass too, boy.
Man, it is hot today. Whoa, it's hot out here, man. It is hot today.
You know it's hot out.
Yeah, I just said that. I said it's hot out here.
He has one of the smallest roles, but I swear it's the funniest. Speaking of Chris Rock, he plays 3 different characters in the movie, but surprisingly, he's the least funny person in this. Scratch that, he's kind of tied with Wanda Sykes. I like Wanda and all, but her stuff just wasn't landing here, as a woman who's friendly but obsessed with Pootie Tang. One funny part that Rock does have is when he's playing Pootie's dad, and he describes how he got injured on the job. He worked at a steel mill, so it's a no-brainer, right?
Steel mill.
And you already know I love the gag when JB Smoove's character is talking to Pootie, and since he's the narrator, he starts narrating what he's about to say next, exposing how silly constant narration is when you can just say it.
I wanted to go with him. I'm gonna go with you, brother. Because everything that happened was all my fault. Pootie, everything that happened, man, it's all my fault. I told that bitch all these things about this bitch, all these things about you, man.
The narration was supposedly added after Louis C.K. turned the movie over to the studio. And there's one addition that I'm actually kinda okay with, if only for this one joke. The movie is so dumb and absurd that it ends up being funny as a result. But I hate to say that it's a so bad it's good movie, because I don't actually think it's bad. It's just silly. If anybody considers this movie bad, then Half-Baked is bad too, because they are very similar. You can already imagine how the critics viewed it back in the day. They destroyed it, but it's obvious they didn't get the humor or understood what type of movie it was trying to be. A lot was said about the portrayal of the women, and it's hard to argue against that, especially when you have scenes where Pootie Tang leaves a woman outside his hotel room with a bowl of milk so she can lick it up like like a kitty. The audience also equally killed it though, not even making close to its budget back. But like I said earlier, the trailer makes it look a lot worse than it really is. So I know that turned a lot of people away. It's so much to like about Pootie Tang. Not everything in it lands, and the plot is thinner than paper, but the absolute randomness of it has ensured that it's maintained a massive cult status in the years since it was released. It may not get as much recognition as it deserves, but I think it's earned the right to be up there with other parodies like Undercover Brother and Black Dynamite.